The Royal Motor Yacht Club Port Hacking is a hidden gem of the Shire, situated on the banks of the beautiful Port Hacking. It's a great place to catch up with friends, celebrate your birthday or any special occasion, and they always show the NRL live on the big screens. The RMYC Port Hacking, proud sponsors of this podcast and big supporters of the Cronulla Sharks. Check out their website, rmycph.com.au. They've got a Facebook page, or you could go old school and call them on 02 9523 9300.
SharkCast! SharkCast! Fafita tries to crash his way over, he does! Fafita got the ball over the line!
And to all you people back in the Shire, turn your porch lights off because we're coming home with a trophy.
Hey there, welcome to SharkCast Pod, a podcast dedicated to the greatest sporting club in the history of the world, the mighty Cronulla Sharks. My name is Sam Shinazzi, I'm an OG from 2015, podcasting into our 11th season with a lot of help from a lot of people along the way, it has to be said. This show is brought to you by Dyson Logistics, the Royal Motor Yacht Club in Port Hacking, and Jason Hawes at Crips & Crips Real Estate. This is a TeamList / interview Tuesday. The team list is to come, but just wanted to say I caught up with TUKU HAU TAPUA and Dan Atkinson. You can listen to those chats on the show today, and a bit of admin to get through. It's looking like with the short week, we're going to do some episodes for you on Wednesday, out Wednesday sometime, consume it Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, Wednesday night, Thursday morning, Thursday game day, etc. I think that's how we're going to play it. TBC, still more content to come though. Do not worry about that. And then we'll be hitting you up post-game, I'm pretty sure, as well. So lots of SharkCast to come. But until then, we know we're coming off a pretty disappointing 20-6 loss to the Bulldogs. A lot of mail, which we'll talk about in a future episode within 24 hours, we hope. And we'll get to that. We're not going to let you down in regards to that. There's a lot of conjecture online with the fans and critics talking about what this loss means, and I understand completely where you're coming from. It's always disappointing to lose, especially in a way where it's, seemingly we're outfought, forwards losing battles, backs not doing what they're supposed to be doing, halves. The whole team was sort of off their game. We know that. But it is one game, and we're moving on pretty quickly to Canberra. It doesn't mean that doesn't matter. It doesn't count. Of course it counts. It's one of our biggest challenges this year that we've had, and unfortunately that second half was really disappointing. I've had a few people sort of ask me, why are you saying things about injuries and that kind of thing? Well, I can tell you that not only did we lose Sifa Talakai and Kyle Iro in the game, down to a 15-man bench, but we also had other players who were under a lot of duress during the week leading into the game. So it wasn't a typical performance by this team. I think we deep down know that. Now, it doesn't mean that they've now got a free rein to stink it up in Canberra. We want to see them go out and impress. But there were some circumstances there. They should have still got the job done. There's no excuses, that's for sure. But there are reasons. Reasons are different to excuses. But I'm happy to talk about any of your thoughts. As long as you keep them clean and fairly respectful, then I'm happy to talk about whatever you want to talk about, whenever you want to talk about it. All right, on to the team news now, which most of you are probably aware of. If not, hopefully we can break it down for you and to you. Your Sharks team to play at Canberra on Thursday night. Short turnaround. Don't forget, it's Thursday night. Fullback, Will Kennedy. Wingers, Sam Stonestreet and Ronaldo Mulatalo. Your centres are Jesse Ramian and Mawini Hiroti. Halves are Braden Trindle and Nico Hines. Starting front row is Adam Fanua-Blake, Blake Brayley, and Oregon Kafusi. Your back row is Britton Nickera, Teague Wilton, and Captain Cam McInnes. The bench is Dan Atkinson, Tall Tom Hazelton, Toby Rudolph, and TUKU HAU TAPUA. Your extended bench, Chris Vaiella, Hohepa Puru, Jesse Colhoun, and Billy Burns, The 18th man at the moment is Jaden Beryl. So your extended bench is Beryl, Vayela, Hohepa, Colquhoun, and Burns. That is your team to play at Canberra on Thursday night. Mawini has won the centre position, taking over from the very informed and impressive Kale Iro. And he's been in really good form for New South Wales Cup for the Newtown Jets. And he's also had really good games for us in recent history. Now, it wasn't always the case with Mawini, but maybe it was a case of maturing and finding his feet in first grade whenever he got the shot. But there's no reason to believe at this stage that he will be anything less than really solid, or hopefully a lot better, because we've seen some really good form out of him, and I think it was the right move. There are other guys below him. You can see Chris Vayela, who is pretty close, and also Michael Gabriel, who is younger but in really good form and quite a special young athlete. But at the moment, I think with minimal change, minimal fuss, Hiroti was the way to go. The rest of the starting team is as is. They've stuck with Oregon Kaufusi to start, and the only reason I bring that up is because a lot of his stats output was not at a high volume. We need more out of Kaufusi, that's for sure. And we've seen more out of him, to be fair, but last week was a quiet week. Dan Atkinson stays as the utility on the bench. Tom Hazelton returns to the team, and he's ready to go. I spoke to him at training today, and he is definitely ready to rock. Toby Rudolph, who had a great hit out last week. I mean, I don't know if we're talking enough about Toby's hit out last week against the Dogs, but he was just firing on all cylinders. I really love that version of Toby Rudolph. I hope we get that again. It's a shame he had to go off with his HIA assessment, because he was really, really cutting it up out there, and maybe if he had more time, maybe it could have created a bit of a different result. Who knows? But Toby is back on the bench, and Tuku, who we're going to speak to in this episode, also holds his spot. I'd like to see a bit more time with Tuku and a bit more involvement, but he's growing and learning as he goes. Extended bench of Jaden Beryl, Chris Vayela, Hohepa Puru, Jesse Colquhoun, who played for the Jets last week and was solid, and Billy Burns as well. So not a bad bunch of backups right there. But that is your team to play in Canberra on Thursday night. It's around a 7:50, 8 o'clock kickoff. Check your local guides for that kind of thing. It's going to be a challenge. I mean, it's always a physical encounter against Canberra. They're coming off a loss as well. They haven't been travelling too well since their round one win in Vegas. So Ricky will have them fired up. It's going to be a challenge, but it's one that I think that we can win. We've got our own things to worry about, and we've got our own injuries and, guys who have to be rested for medical reasons. So we're up against it ourselves, but I'm really hopeful that they're going to go out and win this game. Having spoken to the players today and been around them, they're looking just to move on, take from the loss what they can, learn, move on, and just rip in again. So I've got no doubt in my mind, I've got no reason to think that they're not going to do that. Thank you so much for all your support this year and throughout the years. I say it every week. I mean it every week. Follow us on all the podcast apps you want to, and you can also follow us on YouTube. We're on social media on most of them. Follow us, like us, share our stuff around. In particular, if you can share the episodes and share the videos that we put up of the podcast, that's incredible help. And just keep telling your friends, family, neighbors, people at the games, hey, do you listen to SharkCast? What's SharkCast? Oh, it's this dude who's been talking about the Sharks for 11 years. Here's a link. Here's how to do it on your phone. However you want to address it, we really appreciate that kind of spreading of the news. We will be back with more episodes before the game, so do not go anywhere. Please stick around. Until then, I would love to have you also stick around for the TUKU HAU TAPUA and Dan Atkinson chats. Tuku in particular, get to know more about him and his philosophy on football. He is a really good guy to talk to about rugby league. He's a quiet talker, but man, he has some smart, wise words to say about the game and about his game. Humble fellow, I want to see how he blossoms throughout the year. Early stages of his career, I don't think he's cracked 20 games yet, but he is one to watch, and I hope he gets the chance to continue, whether it's in short bursts or larger bursts throughout the year. I'm really looking forward to seeing Tuku do what he can do. Until then, we will talk to you soon. Up Cronulla, here come the interviews. Do not go anywhere, we got more episodes coming. All right, Dan Atkinson, let's get to the heart of it. What happened on Saturday night as a team? Disappointing second half.
Yeah, I think it's been mentioned that the first half was like semi-final footy. It was good to get that experience in round 4, but yeah, I think the Dogs just stuck at it a bit longer than what we did. But like I said, it's early doors, and it was good to have that that excitement of semi-final footy this early on. And to be honest, like we'll take that loss, and we got a lot to improve on, so it'll help us down the track.
That's a good way to look at it. It was a heavy atmosphere here, which is always fun for the fans. Both sets of fans going for it in a tight contest for most of the game. What did the coach say after the game?
Obviously, he wasn't too happy. Neither were all the boys. It was a very, very upset shed. But he just said, like, he knows we're better than that. He knows what we're capable of, and he just reminded us of what we're capable of. And I think that's all he needed to do. So we're looking forward to this week.
Short turnaround, does that help you guys just as a team to get on with it and erase that loss?
Yeah, definitely. I think sometimes short turnarounds aren't that good, but I think after a loss, it's good to, we obviously watch some review, but to flush it, rebuild, and then go again and hopefully put a strong performance together this week.
What do you like about Canberra?
What do I like about Canberra?
Are they impressing you in any way, watching their games, watching their film this week?
Mate, they're always a physical team, to be honest with you. I think Ricky always gets them going. After a loss last week, they're going to come out, blow the doors down, but as will we, so we're excited.
All right, thanks for your time, Dan.
Thank you.
We got through all that without mentioning the Dragons. We're all good. Thanks, brother. Okay, Sam from SharkCast Pod here with Big Tuku. So how you feeling? How you going 4 rounds into the season?
Yeah, 4 rounds, playing first grade, can't really complain, aside from the result last week and our performance. It's in the past now and ready to move on. Next challenge and, get the job done this week.
How are you feeling? How's the body? How's the mind?
Yeah, as a young middle playing in such a strong pack, I think I still get moments when I'm kind of pinching myself at the caliber of players that I get to run alongside with, and body's holding up. Still kind of getting used to that physicality of first grade and the intensity, but all in all, I think I'm feeling pretty good.
Awesome. So you're about almost 20 games in your career. You've re-signed for a few years, correct?
Yeah. I re-signed for an extra year, so the end of 26. So pretty stoked about it.
So you must feel good to have a stable contract. You found a home. You've been with Fitz for a while, even before the Sharks. What's it like with Craig these days?
Yeah, Fitzy's. I had him 2 years prior at the Roosters, and he hasn't really changed one bit. Like his whole philosophy around footy. He's really articulate in what he does, and he knows the game very well, and he knows how to teach us middles especially. I've been fortunate enough to be with him for those years prior to coming to the Sharks, and he, as I said, he hasn't changed one bit on how he prides himself on his defense, and I guess you've seen it from the 22 season now, how strong the Sharks have been in defense.
What's it like for you coming off the bench? What's your role? What does Craig tell you? What do the coaching staff tell you? Is it just to get as much work done as you can in that shorter stint that you have? What's your role?
Yeah, I think now, as you said, I'm almost 20 games in, probably about 14 now for the Sharks. I think my role has become pretty clear that Fitzy wants. He it obviously changed now that we with our game model, how we carry we're not carrying 4 middles on the bench. So it's changed. I feel like it's changed, but it's also the same. Like I know my role pretty clearly as that middle that just needs to come on, create fractures, disrupt the line. That power stint that he needs to kind of open up the game for tricky Nico to open up the game.
What's it been like with Cronulla Blake coming to town? Tell us about his influence on you and the team.
Oh, massive. I think.
Had you met him before?
Prior to coming to Sharks, no. But obviously, such a revered figure in the middle. You know, when he speaks, everybody listens, and I think I'm just fortunate enough that he's come to this club, and I've just got an opportunity to soak everything up from what he does. You see how destructive he is in the middle. His ability to cross shoulders, get in between defenders, get down, play the ball, and it just opens up the game for our whole spine and our team. And I think just for Blake to be that size and his ability to move at that size, not just on those little efforts, but that week just gone, he's punched out 40 minutes straight, and in the middle, at the speed that the game's going on at the moment, it's attributed to him, and you just sit back and you just revere at a middle like that.
Now you've got your own style, obviously, but does the way he plays, and you're a bigger guy than him, which is scary, does that influence or change the way you play at all, hit up to hit up? Like, are you influenced by him in the way he actually plays the game?
I guess so. I mean, the way he plays his game is the way Adam plays his game, and I obviously admire that, and I guess everyone else does. I feel like my style of play is I could never mimic what he does. Yeah. But what I can do is I can bring my own flair, my own personal flair to that. I can take bits and pieces out of his game and try and implement it in mine. It will never be exactly what Adam does, but I guess, as you said, I'm a lot taller, as in frame, and I can't mimic exactly what he does, but I can kind of add my flair, whether it's offload, whether it's bending the line, getting my head down, quick play the ball. Obviously can't step as good as he does, but I definitely got a bit more weight behind me, and
So, disappointing loss on the weekend, obviously, to the Bulldogs. Second half in particular, where do you think it kind of went wrong?
I think we've spoken about I don't think we can fault ourselves on intensity. I think the intensity throughout the whole 80 was all there from everyone, and I think it was just a lack of connection within the team, and it's not one person's responsibility. I guess it's everyone's responsibility to really touch up on that. It's not to say that we're not a connected group. It was just a bit of a slip up there. We just lacked a bit of connection there.
Are you happy with the short turnaround to sort of wipe it off the map and move on to winning ways?
Yeah, 100%. I think we're fortunate enough to come off that obviously disappointing loss, and because we've got a short turnaround, we don't have that time to kind of marinate in that defeat, and we've obviously taken our lessons, but now next job's ahead, and it's GIA Stadium.
Thanks for your time, TUKU. Enjoying what you're doing, and keep doing it, man.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
SharkCast is supported by the best and most honest real estate agent in the Sutherland Shire, Jason Hawes from Cripps & Cripps Real Estate. He's an expert in the Caringbah region and has his eye all across the Shire. Lifelong Sharks fan and supporter of this podcast, if you're looking to buy or sell in the region, the person you need to be talking to is Jason Hawes from Cripps & Cripps Real Estate. Call him on 0410 417 450. That's 0410 417 450. Jason Hawes, Crips and Crips Real Estate. SharkCast is supported by the best and most honest real estate agent in the Sutherland Shire, Jason Hawes from Crips and Crips Real Estate. He's an expert in the Caringbah region and has his eye all across the Shire. Lifelong Sharks fan and supporter of this podcast, if you're looking to buy or sell in the region, the person you need to be talking to is Jason Hawes from Crips and Crips Real Estate. Call him on 0410 417 450. That's 0410 417 450. Jason Hawes, Crips and Crips Real Estate.